Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the secret space jellyfish in Halo 2. So you guys might remember the Flood Juggernaut in Halo 2, which was a cut Flood form that never made it into the final game, but still existed in the game files and could be spawned out as well. So as it turns out, there's actually another cut creature in the game that's still in the game files and can be spawned out, and that is this thing right here, which is the Space Jellyfish. However, in the game files, it's actually referred to as a Space Blimp. But according to Bungie employee Dave Dunn, it's actually a Space Jellyfish. So, the Space Jellyfish, it was a cut creature that was supposed to appear on the mission The Arbiter. And it was cut from the final game for numerous reasons, but its model, well, what's left of it, still exists in the game files, and only on the mission The Arbiter. And of course, because of that, we can spawn it in. But as you can see, it doesn't render correctly in the game. But that's not what it's supposed to look like. So using the tool Adjutant, we can actually view the model and see and get a better look at what it was supposed to look like. Something closer at least. Not a giant white glowing blob, but this thing right here. Which I don't really have any words to describe it correctly, but this is what this is a better view of what it's supposed to look like. So these things, these creatures, they're very similar to the creatures like the birds on Regret. As in, they're not like an actual character in the game that's playable, or like, you know, that has like an AI that attacks you or anything. They're just like an ambient life form that kind of hovers around in the background. In this case, they are supposed to be ambient life that appear on, you know, gas giants or planets like that, and just kind of hover in the upper atmosphere, and you're supposed to be able to see them in the distance just hovering around like a flock of birds, but only a flock of space jellyfish. But they were cut from the final game, and according to David Dunn from Bungie, I quote here, another Bungie employee told him that these space jellyfish, that it's the stupidest thing that they've ever seen, and it's gotta go. And then David Dunn agreed, and that's why it never existed in the final game. Aside from what's left of it, of course. But like I said, these space jellyfish, they were supposed to be ambient life that appears on this planet specifically in Halo 2. And according to David Dunn as well, there was supposed to be sound effects for the space jellyfish, which, based on this article I've read here, it's just supposed to go bloop bloop or something like that. But yeah, so ultimately Bungie decided not to include it in the game, and this is all that's left of the space jellyfish. But you can see why it's called a space blimp in the game files. It's like a giant gas creature, and it's like a giant balloon essentially, so I guess you could say it's like a space blimp. But it's no, it's supposed to be an actual life form, not a vehicle or anything. When I first saw it in the game files, I thought it was some kind of vehicle that was cut, but because sometimes vehicles are actually used as like ambient creatures. Like in Halo 3, sometimes you see like hornets or something flying in the background, but they're like low details. Those often fall under creatures as well, even though they're not actually creatures. But in this case, these aren't flocks of vehicles, they actually are flocks of living creatures. So to sum it up one more time, the space jellyfish, as referred to by Bungie employee David Dunn, are actually called space blimps in the game files, but ultimately they were cut from the final game because Bungie overall found them to be too preposterous, too ridiculous looking, and thus it never made it to the final game. But they were meant to be ambient lifeform creatures that float around in the upper atmosphere of the gas giant planet that you're on during the mission The Arbiter. But yeah, so that basically wraps it up for this video. Hopefully you guys found it to be interesting, and if you did enjoy this video, as always, make sure to leave a like. Anything else for me to look into, or check out, or investigate, or any questions you have, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely do my best to look into it when I get a chance. But other than that, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!